Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Advanced Warfare in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the HBRa3 Insanity. We are starting elite weapon reviews. I'm going to be changing up the formula of in-depth just a little bit. Instead of covering each and every minutiae detail of this weapon, I'm going to compare it to the original and explain why it's better than the original and why it's better than some of the other assault rifle variants or assault rifles in general out there. Because what you're most interested in, of course, is what's different about it. You'll also notice the gameplay being slightly different, as it's not my gameplay. This is gameplay from J-Hub. He's always on my channel, always in my live streams. If you haven't heard of J-Hub right now, I'd highly recommend you check out his YouTube channel at youtube.com/xjhubx. That is a clickable link, and it's the first link down there in the description. But he's the one that has the HBR Insanity, and he sent me the gameplay. I will be taking community gameplay and community testing for the elite variant weapons that I don't have. I also have a big channel update at the end of this in-depth episode. A lot of important stuff to talk about, and about how you can submit clips for in-depth. But for now, let's talk about the HBRa3 Insanity. It has a damage buff to it, which at first doesn't look like very much. The normal damage on an HBRa3 is 40 to 24, making it 3 to 5 shots to kill, and the Insanity damage only increases at 1 point at the minimum range from 40 to 25, but that makes it 3 to 4 shots to kill, and that makes a big difference because it's 1 less shot to kill at long range, meaning that the Insanity outclasses the HBAR in terms of damage, time to kill, and shots to kill, making it a very effective weapon. Yet that's not the only buff it gets. The normal rate of fire on the HBRa3, and I know this is a big mess on the screen, guys, because it's one of those guns that shoots at different speeds as you go through the magazine. The first 3 rounds of your burst as you shoot it, so every time you pull the trigger, the first 3 rounds fire at 720 rounds per minute, and the rest of the magazine, as you hold down the trigger, fire at 590 rounds per minute. This is similar to this is kind of like how the AN-94 worked in Black Ops 2, and I added these coded stats because they're coded on PC and in the game to fire at 857 and 635 RPM, but due to frame rounding, that's not exactly how it works. I'm going to be reporting the exact rates of fire because on some variants it's going to make a huge difference, the exact that you're going to get on the consoles. However, the HBRa3 Insanity has a much faster rate of fire, with the burst firing at 800 rounds per minute. If you're on PC and you've got a good one, the coded one is 1000, which is pretty impressive, but it rounds down, and the rest of it fires at 720 rounds per minute, and it's coded at 750. That's one of those good numbers, so not much rounding, but it vastly outclasses the original in terms of rate of fire. The normal rate of fire bonus that you get on the burst of the regular HBRa3 is the same speed as your slow rate of fire on the Insanity, which makes it a pretty awesome gun, and that again decreases your time to kill, makes it very, very deadly. This fires considerably faster than the BAL-27, and at the exact same speed. Well, the normal one is at the exact same speed as the AK-12, making it a very competitive weapon for both of those. Unfortunately, the recoil is slightly higher than normal, and I don't say that in that this variant has higher recoil or lesser center speed or something like that, but simply it shoots faster, and the normal recoil is going to be magnified a little bit when you shoot faster. So foregrip is going to be needed because you want to get these shots on point. You want to kill people as fast as possible. Foregrip is an excellent attachment for these weapons. Unfortunately, it has another downside. It has a 10% wider hip spread on the Insanity. I don't find this to be a very big deal. I don't hip fire it a whole lot, especially not after the nerf, where the 3-shot kill range was significantly reduced, because it hit the bow and the HBAR at the same time. The 3-shot kill range is very, very small, so I'm almost never spraying people with it, so it's not going to make a big difference. And you also have no optical attachments allowed. This is one of the weirder penalties on the guns, but they figured this gun would be OP if you could put a red dot sight on it, a tracker sight or something like that, so you must use the default iron sights on the HBRa3. I personally do not like them. I find they're usable, they're just a little bit clunky. They're not the greatest things in the world. Some people love these, some people are very comfortable with it and they use it all the time. One of the things I found, though, is that the silencer is the absolute best attachment for this weapon for 2 reasons. Number 1 is there is no damage penalty, and that's kind of true on all the weapons, and it doesn't even hurt your range because it's a 4-shot at all ranges, and you've essentially only got 2 effective ranges. Your 3-shot kill range, and then after that everything is 4. The 3-shot kill range after the BAL and HBAR nerf is right in your face. It's point blank, and the silencer is only going to take off 25% of point blank, which you will never miss, and then it's 4 shots to kill forever. It's not going to hurt anything, and you get less muzzle flash. The most difficult thing about using the iron sights on the HBRa3 Insanity is that when you shoot, the bullets flash and there's a little bit of smoke, and it kind of makes the iron sights a little bit harder to use and track the targets. However, the silencer completely removes that flash and the smoke and the noise and all that, and it makes your iron sights much cleaner and much easier for you to track the target. And as for what I think about this variant overall, I think the HBRa3 Insanity is one of the strongest variants in the entire game. I'm not even joking when I tell you that if you have the Insanity, you have a top tier weapon. Like, it's definitely top 3 or 4. It is an excellent assault rifle, excellent variant, and I would highly recommend that you use it. I mean, it's probably better than any default regular gun, even better than the BAL by quite a bit. Just go with the silencer and the foregrip, and if you need a third attachment, I would probably say stock. Stock works really well on this, so you can sidestep it pretty good. That's it for the weapon review part of this in depth, but now I've got some channel update, how to submit, and all that sort of stuff here at the end. First off, I know that T. Martin already does elite weapon reviews. I'm sure I'll get quite a lot of that in the comments, and I don't like, copying content or whatever, so I reached out to him before this to ask if it was okay to review elite weapons, so I'm not, like, encroaching on what he does. He said that was totally fine, so we're good to go there. If you'd like to check him out, his channel's super easy to find. Like, all of you know T. Martin, probably. He's already reviewed, like, a ton of these things, but I'll put a link down there in the description as well. And I will be getting elite variants to test and some clips and stuff like that from the community. Sometimes I will need to hold them in my hand to test them, and sometimes I will just need gameplay from you. Anytime you send me a gameplay to use or help me test, that equals a shout out. The same way that I shouted out J-Hub in the very beginning of this video is the same way that you'll get your shout out, because if you give to me, I should give to you in return, and that's just kind of how this works. It's all going to be happening via Twitter. Leaving random YouTube comments is not going to work, because that is a terrible method of communication, and it's a giant mess, and I can't read anything or follow up with it. So just if you're like leaving comments like, hey, I have this gun, reach out to me down there, it's not going to do any good. You need to reach out to me via Twitter. My Twitter is linked down there in the description. You can follow. I'm probably going to tweet what weapon I need and ask for who has it, what system, blah blah blah, and then kind of contact people and follow through DMs and that sort of stuff. So keep an eye out on Twitter. I'm going to be begging for guns and stuff, and I need you to be able to record on an Elgato HD60 at 60 FPS and send me the raw file via Dropbox. If I'm asking for PC clips, that might be a little different, but if we're doing consoles, I'm sponsored by Elgato. I need to use their products in all of my videos. All of my in-depth episodes are 60 FPS. They're very high quality, and if you send me something that is a different capture card brand, that violates my agreement, unfortunately, and I can't use it. If you send me something at 30 FPS, there's a downgrade in quality for all the viewers, and if you like re-render or add post effects or like watermarks and stuff, that's going to be a big downgrade in quality. So I really just need raw files. I know they're huge and they're massive, but just put them in Dropbox and send them to me. Don't send me any like weird lockers invite or like crazy files or whatever, because that's just a virus and I'm not going to accept it. Whew, a lot of stuff going on right there. Let's move on to the channel update part of this episode. In depth, I will try to keep daily, but I might have to move it to every other day because we're reviewing weapon variants, and because I have to depend on clips from other people and from the community, etc., etc. And because I've already reviewed all of the core weapons and just hit this game really hard this year, my topic pool is limited and my production time is increased. I might need to move in-depth to every other day instead of every single day. That's just the reality of how this works. I'm going to try to keep the content fresh, keep it going. In-depth is quite far from over. We've got a long way to go. Just wanted to talk about that. And I'm probably going to stream more and upload other types of games / videos in general. My personal philosophy is having a video up every single day, just some form of content. And as I discussed earlier in this year, Friday is the day that I usually say for sponsored videos or for something random or for something really different. And Saturday and Sunday are for like big, important, emotional, philosophical kind of topics, if there's going to be any for that particular week. I think for this Thursday, this week, I had to move it a day before the Loot Crate thing, but it's going to be more or less the same schedule, but you'll see some other games cropping in there. I'm going to start uploading other stuff that's not just Call of Duty. Again, don't worry about it. The Call of Duty content isn't going anywhere. This channel was built on COD. I know you're all COD fans. You're mostly here for the COD numbers, etc., etc. You're going to have tons and tons and tons of Call of Duty content. Just there's going to be some other things going on in the days to where I can't get in-depth going or can't get something, you know, along the lines of statistical or analytical Call of Duty. Just kind of has to be how it is. I mean, that's that. I'll be streaming more. You can find my stream link down there in the description. Well, that is all for this in-depth episode. I know it was quite long. I hope you stuck with me here to the end. The previous episode was on the PDW machine pistol. You can click that link. It'll open in a new tab. The next video is going to be on the AMR9 Pro Pipe, because on the Elite in-depth weapons series, we're not just going to be doing good weapons made more awesome, but we're going to be doing some bad weapons that are redeemed by really good Elite variants. So you'll see a little bit of that, again, recorded in 1080p 60 FPS with Elgato. And as always, if you enjoyed, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.